Favorite frog?
My favorite girl.
When Steven passed, we went to stay with my mom.
I miss him. Are we really going home?
Guess we're neighbors. I'm happy you're kind of back.
What do you mean? I'm here. I'm back.
You'll get there, baby cakes. My late husband used to cut the grass in diagonal lines.
Sneak up on you like that. The little memories.
You lost someone too?
My wife. And my son.
Everyone in town expects me to be the same girl I was before. But I'm not that girl anymore. I'm not ready to forget. We used each other to remember Stephen and Jamie, his wife. I could see how disappointed you were that I wasn't her. Because I'm guessing you could see how disappointed I was that you weren't him.
It's got the look of some kind of serial killer or something.
I want to kiss you. The real you.
That would change things.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I've got something really special for you. We're going to talk about the movie, The Air He Breathes. I've picked out some key scenes, and while you're watching those, I'll be guiding you through the story. It's one of those movies that just gets to you, right? It's emotional, it's heartbreaking, and it's beautiful all at once. So let's jump in and get to know the characters, Elizabeth and Tristan, and how they end up helping each other heal from the worst moments of their lives. The movie begins by introducing us to Elizabeth. She's lost her husband, Stephen, in a tragic accident and is left trying to raise their daughter, Emma, on her own. Elizabeth is just going through the motions of life, completely overwhelmed by grief. Everything reminds her of Stephen, and you can see that she's struggling to keep it together, especially for Emma, who's still too young to fully understand what happened to her dad. But even though she tries to be strong, the sadness is always there. On the other side, we have Tristan Cole, a man who's also been broken by loss. His wife and son died in a car accident, and since then, he's been living in isolation, shutting out the world. Tristan is the kind of guy who looks tough on the outside, but inside, he's completely destroyed. He doesn't want to connect with anyone because, to him, it feels like getting close to people only leads to more pain. Their paths cross in the most unexpected way when Elizabeth accidentally runs over Tristan's dog, Zeus, with her car. Now, this moment is super tense because, understandably, Tristan is furious. He's already lost so much, and now here's this woman who's hurt the only companion he has left. But Elizabeth, being the kind-hearted person she is, offers to take Zeus to the vet and make sure he's okay. It's a small gesture, but it's the beginning of something bigger. At first, their interactions are awkward and uncomfortable. Tristan is cold and distant, and Elizabeth isn't sure what to make of him. But there's something about their shared pain that starts to draw them together. Elizabeth finds herself visiting Tristan more and more, partly because she feels guilty about Zeus, but also because she senses that Tristan, like her, is just trying to survive his grief. There's a sort of unspoken understanding between them, even if they don't fully realize it yet. One day, Elizabeth invites Tristan over to help her with some yard work. It's a seemingly simple task, mowing the lawn, but for Elizabeth, it's significant. Her late husband used to take care of the yard, and asking Tristan to step in feels like she's letting him into her life in a small but meaningful way. Tristan, for his part, is hesitant, but he agrees. And as he mows the lawn in the same diagonal pattern Stephen used to, it's clear that this moment is touching a deep nerve for Elizabeth. This is where we start to see the emotional walls they've built around themselves begin to crack. They talk more, and little by little, they open up about their losses. There's a really touching scene where Tristan confesses that he blames himself for his wife and son's death. He was supposed to be with them that day, but he wasn't, and he's carried that guilt ever since. Elizabeth listens, and though she's still grieving herself, she tells Tristan something he's probably never heard before, that it wasn't his fault. Sometimes bad things just happen, and it's not because of anything we did or didn't do. It's a powerful moment of connection between them. But of course, things aren't that simple. Just as Elizabeth and Tristan start to grow closer, old wounds and new complications come up. Tanner, Elizabeth's old friend, who has been harboring feelings for her for years, isn't too happy about her getting close to Tristan. He starts to stir up trouble, and things take a dark turn when it's revealed that Tanner had a hand in the accident that killed Tristan's family. Yeah, it's intense. This revelation shakes Elizabeth to her core. She can't believe that Tanner, someone she's known and trusted for so long, could be involved in something so horrific. And Tristan, feeling betrayed, distances himself from Elizabeth. He thinks she knew about Tanner's involvement and is angry that she didn't tell him. It's heartbreaking because just when it seemed like they were starting to heal together, everything falls apart. In the midst of this, Tanner's obsession with Elizabeth becomes even more dangerous. He kidnaps Emma in a desperate attempt to fix things and prove that he's the one Elizabeth should be with. The tension in these scenes is high. You can feel Elizabeth's fear and desperation as she races to save her daughter. Tristan, despite his own pain and confusion, steps up to help her. It's a thrilling, emotional roller coaster as they work together to confront Tanner and rescue Emma. The final confrontation is intense. Tanner's delusions have completely taken over, and he's willing to hurt anyone who gets in his way. But Tristan doesn't back down. He fights to protect Elizabeth and Emma, and in the end, Tanner is stopped before he can cause any more harm. In the aftermath, there's this beautiful sense of relief, but also an understanding that the healing process is far from over. Elizabeth and Tristan have both been through so much, and though the immediate danger is gone, they're still carrying the weight of their pasts. But the difference now is that they're no longer carrying that weight alone. The movie ends on a hopeful note. Elizabeth and Tristan are still figuring things out, but they found something in each other that makes the pain a little easier to bear. They know it's not going to be easy, and they're not rushing into anything, but they're willing to give this new relationship a chance. There's no big, sweeping romantic gesture at the end, just a quiet understanding that maybe, just maybe, they can help each other heal. And that's the story of The Air He Breathes. It's a powerful film about love, loss, and the possibility of finding happiness again, even after the most devastating moments of life. If you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend it. It's a beautifully told story that'll stick with you long after it's over. Thanks for sticking around, and I hope you enjoyed walking through this emotional journey with me.